together for the Hill Country Nation Sports Wrap-Up Show.
Well, I thought I was trying to get that in there. Hey, welcome back to the Hill Country Nation Sports Wrap-Up Show right here from the second floor of the Jam Broadcasting Empire. Just like what Rakowski had said. Jeff Page back in the house again on a Tuesday. What's up, bro? Boom. Got some great stuff coming up here for tonight. A legend. Man, he don't want to be called that, but it's happening. I think they need to name the football field after this guy. I mean, what do you say there, Trey?
I mean, this guy has all the winning accolades that you need. I think they should go ahead and name the football field after him over there. This guy has a lot of state titles. I'm jealous because I always wanted one, and maybe you can share one of his with me. But hey, man, I'm excited to bring him on. First coach to come on since 2 days, or football practices have started, baby. I'm excited to talk some football. We are 1 week away from scrimmages and 2 weeks away from the season opener. Football's back, baby.
21 days to be exact. We're all back on the gridiron, but that's enough about what we want. I mean, 4th of July coming around, boom, we're ready. You're looking for the 2 days. The camps. We got to make sure we got it all right and go from there. But this guy right here, Tim Shipman of the Fredericksburg Heritage Eagles. He is a husband, a father, and of course, a father to many, 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 many as well. A motivational speaker. He'll make sure that you are fired up for the big game, and he's going to make sure that you're going to hear it just the way that it needs to be. State titles is in his veins, and another state run is on the way. We are going to welcome you here to the show, Coach Tim Shipman.
Thank you, JR. Appreciate the introduction, and it's a pleasure to get to be on the show. Just excited about this season. I don't know if there's anybody more excited about football season than you guys, though. That was an incredible start to the show, man. You guys got me fired up.
Well, I appreciate that. We can charge $19.95 a video if it. No, I'm teasing, man. We'll hook you up if that's what you want right here. Man, Coach, it's so good. We've known each other for quite some time and things like that. I mean, and what was crazy is that I just realized that this is only your second year as the athletic director at Fredericksburg Heritage. I always really thought you were it the whole time. But at the same time, I mean, you have really been an impact. Just talk about the story of you coming to Heritage and starting that program.
Well, of course, this is my second year as athletic director, and let me tell you, I'm learning and growing every day. But going all the way back to 2002, the school used to be out of a church here over on the other side of town. Now, of course, we have our own. We have 40 acres and our own facilities. They came to me and asked if I would help them get the football program started, and at that time, I was actually kind of I was thinking about getting out of coaching. I was currently coaching for FISD, and, I was thinking about heading in a different direction. Of course, the Lord had other plans, and little by little, John Aiken, he kept asking me and saying, hey, man, why don't you help us? I said, well, I'll help you get started, but, I'm not in it for the long haul. And so I showed up and said, they would say, well, we don't even have equipment or anything. Can you help us learn how to put on equipment and, order equipment? I said, sure. And met with 9 boys who had never played football before. No seniors, just freshmen, sophomore, juniors. And they had on the board, it said a word from coach. And I looked around, I didn't see anybody else. So I thought, well, I better think of something to say. And so a few times in that speech, apparently I said the word we. And the players picked up on that. And so we didn't have a place to practice. So we actually started out practicing in a horse pasture in 02. And I was out at Jeep Collins' old horse pasture. And so I remember stories of having the boys run around the pasture and there's 5 horses running with them. So we have this whole saying about, opening the gate and letting the horses run. And that goes back to that, a little bit being tough as barbed wire. Different things that really truly go back to a horse pasture. We were there about 2 or 3 years. In '02 and '03, we weren't eligible to be in TAPS yet. And then in '04, we joined TAPS. And fortunately that year, we ended up running the table and winning the state title in our first year back, beat Granbury Happy Hill, who was the 2-time defending state champions. But it's an incredible story, really. I had never coached or seen a 6-man game until my first game in '02.
Yeah.
And we took it on the chin pretty good, but I still have some formations that I learned from that game that we use today. Because we went in at halftime, and I kind of spent the whole game with my head halfway kind of sideways trying to figure it out. And I said, well, I don't know much about 6-man football, but whatever they're doing is working really well. So we're going to try that the second half. And it was Austin Hill country, and I'm still friends with their coaches. They've been friends for 20-something years with them, and super guys, but we still use some of that stuff. And it was an incredible start to what I didn't realize was going to be 21 plus seasons, ahead, much less, 9 state title appearances and 7 state championships. So incredible start, to be honest with you. And here we are, and we're still just trying to get started, I guess.
Coach, you talk about your your heritage 7 state titles since 2022. I just want to know how you get the players from coming up from junior high up to high school, and how you would get these players ready to play some 6-man football.
Yeah.
Over there in Fredericksburg Heritage, where we all know 11 men, you had junior high, you go a freshman, JV. How do y'all do it over there in Heritage? How do you get these players ready for 6-man and the competition level that is Heritage and the expectations that they should be receiving over there?
Man, that's a great question. So early on from about '02 until 2011, we didn't have a junior high program. And I would get them as freshmen, and some kids were still at that stage where they weren't quite sure what pad went where. And so that was tough. We keep things simple. We focus on fundamentals. We believe that every single player can contribute in some way, and we also believe strongly in player development, and meaning that you may not figure this out for several years. And we try to teach them that, you don't learn to play the guitar overnight. And so you're not going to learn to play the game of football overnight. Well, lo and behold, here comes 2011. We have enough kids and enough interest, and we are now over at the current, location, current school that we're at in terms of facilities. And so we started a junior high program, and our current junior high head coach, Matt Roberts, who he runs and owns Value Med Pharmacy here in Fredericksburg, but then he comes over after work or, cuts work early and comes over and coaches. He's been coaching for us, head coach, since 2011. And that consistency and the coaches that coach alongside him, I feel like we have one of the most consistent and most bought in junior high coaching staff in all of TAPS, all of the 6-man football in the region, in the state. And so since 2011, I've been getting those freshmen, instead of trying to figure out where pads go, I've been getting them in, and they know all our drills. They know our terminology. They know that we focus on fundamentals. We focus on ground and pound and great defense, and that's how championships are won. I think we've done a good job of teaching our older guys to mentor the younger guys instead of just harass them. They actually take them under their wing. They find value in that. And each Wednesday, we have something called One Day Wednesday. We all cut practice a little bit early, about 15 minutes early. The junior high and the varsity guys join together. We form a big circle. I have captains or seniors or other coaches, and they speak about the Heritage Way. They talk about how we do things. At the end, they all do push-ups together. We have a push-up tradition. And so I think over the years, our junior high coaching staff, I have to give them as much credit for the state titles post 2011 as anybody else.
Speaking of what your state title runs and stuff, I know that last year was one of those seasons. It just didn't really, kind of know how good you could be. Then again, was it going to be a year that you're just getting to know the other players? So with that, you lost some key players, but you've got a lot of good ones returning. Talk about, the seniors coming up and what they're going to, what it means to you to have them as leaders for this year's team.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our seniors are very, very important. We've got Gage Nelson and Josh Tabor, two seniors. We play in the smallest of the small of the entire state of Texas. We're in TAP 6-man Division III. And so over the years, that's kind of fluctuated a little bit. But those seniors are vital. We talked earlier about player development. Some of these guys, our junior high program goes 6th, 7th, 8th graders all to form one team. We got to use every one of them in order to have enough. And so these guys, these seniors, they're in their 7th year or starting their 7th year of Heritage Eagle football. And so they have been trained in the way, they know the way, it's their time. Of course, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, we ask them to lead as well. But these seniors have, this is their time. This is it. This is their last year. And in terms of their football career. And so I'm excited. Both these guys are ready to take on those leadership roles. These guys, Gage and Josh, both are excited to carry on the torch, take the baton per se. We built a huge legacy here. We've got a lot of tradition, and they embrace that. And I'm excited to see what this season, this journey brings for those two guys. You kind of alluded to, last year it was an interesting year. We were kind of rebuilding. We're really probably in a second year of a rebuild, but somebody told me earlier, when I was talking to them about it maybe a few weeks ago, and they said, well, you made it to the semifinals last year. And it occurred to me that, that's not a bad rebuild year. No. And I don't say that egotistically, but I just say that by the standard that these kids, we went in the quarterfinal and we were underdogs pretty big time. We played Bryan St. Joseph last year. We had some adversity working in our camp between injuries and various other things. And those guys went over to Georgetown. We met them over there. And I think Bryan came in thinking they were going to 45 us. And because these kids believed in each other, because they believe in every single one of them, emptying their water bottle, meaning leave it all on the field. It doesn't matter if you're a starter, you're backup, if you play 3 plays or 2 plays. And that's just kind of the mentality that we've taken on. And so we ended up beating them by several touchdowns. And then we moved on to the semis and got 45 by Bracken, who played in the state title. They were very good. Credit and kudos to them. And they're going to be back in our district this year, and they're probably pick number 1. We're number 2. So we're honestly chomping at the bit a little bit. I don't want to give them any bulletin board material, but we're chomping at the bit to get another shot, and we're in a similar mode. We're not loaded per se as a heritage team would be considered loaded. And we talked about that in spring ball. But these guys believe in themselves, and they're going to go one game at a time. Let's go win a game. Let's go win another game, and let's keep focusing on what we do at Heritage and see what happens in November.
Oh, talking about schedule, I just got your schedule. For one, your schedule's hard to find. I cannot find your schedule anywhere.
I've got it. Somebody needs to get my act together and figure out how to promote all this stuff. I need to go to like social media college or something like that. I have had for years people been on me about that. I think JR's been on me about that. That's an area. That's one of my goals to improve on here. We need to get on like Max Preps or do something like that. It's not that hard, right?
But what I like is that I'm usually one of the first ones to get your schedule when you get it out. So that's a win-win for me.
Hey, JR, JR's a hound dog, man. He stays after you.
Yes.
He stays after you. He's passionate about what he does, and I love that about JR.
Sometimes it's a nuisance the way he does it, but you know what? You're going to get it done. You're going to get it to him.
It's tenacious. Keep knocking on the door. Keep pounding the rock. Keep pounding the rock.
Well, okay. So where I was going with this, the schedule that I have, it says that you have 2 open dates. Are you still looking for teams?
So here's kind of what went down. We are the smallest of the small, so periodically we'll get some teams that late in the summer have to cancel their season because they don't have enough guys. Bulverde Living Rock, unfortunately, they about in the middle of July said, hey, we don't have enough. We're not going to have a team. And they're in our district. So that left a late open date. And then San Antonio, St. Gerard, same situation.
Wow.
So for us on our schedule, it fell at week 9 and 10. Well, how are you going to find late in the summer a game in week 9 and 10 because everybody's in district, or they sure don't want to, play a Freddie, or something like that, or play a game. They might want an open date. So I ended up, I've got Austin, you see there, I got Austin St. Stephen's on there. We never played them before. They're a pretty big independent
Yeah, they are.
school. I think they just dropped down from 11 man. So we're going to have our hands full with that. But I'm glad at this point to get somebody on the schedule. Right now, we've got week 10 still open. We're still looking week 10. And then we do have an early open week back in September. And on that, what I've learned, there's a little knack to 6-man football, whether it's UIL or private. If you don't have the numbers, then you got to manage things just right to make sure that you stay healthy and that you are not wearing guys down. So I found usually historically week 4 or 5, we would end up with quite a few injuries and go into games with like 6 guys maybe. And so I started leaving that date open on week 4 or 5 because I found that we had play our scrimmage. We'd get 3 good games in. It was a good time for us to heal up a little bit and get ready to head into district. So obviously I have that open date, which I'm kind of wanting to keep open. And then but if I could fill week 10, that'd be excellent. Later in the fall, we have fall break, which is a really great thing here. And it's unorthodox, but I actually give them the week off from football period. And I've had coaches go, man, you're crazy. But what I found is that if you give them that good rest and they can get away from football, maybe go do a little dove hunting or something like that, then when they come back, they're ready to get 1 or 2 more district games in and then play till December. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so we take the turtle approach, and we're going to manage that. And it's just, I guess, 22 years of 6-man football and figuring out how to take 9 or 10 guys and keep them healthy and strong and have them playing at their best in December.
Man, this is all good stuff, but we do got to take a little quick break and everything. And when we come back, we are going to have more of Coach Tim Shipman of the Fredericksburg Heritage Eagles right after this.
Come see me here at Curtex Motors, 212 G Street West. We'll take care of you.
All right, we want to thank Curtex Motors for being our sponsor here tonight. I mean, I tell you what, with guys like him, it makes it so much nicer because we're able to do what we love to do. We don't make money off this, do we, Jeff? No, we just make enough just to keep it going so these schools like Heritage and the other schools around here will get their due. So thank you to Andy and Curtex Motors. Visit them online, and they will take good care of you as always. All right, we're going to bring back Coach Shipman up here again. And, Coach, this is our favorite time. It's one of our fun times. Let's get to know Coach Tim Shipman. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. It doesn't seem like it would be you, but I understand that you got some kind of a coffee addiction.
Oh yeah, I have 2. I've got 2 rules. I don't know if you've learned those 2 rules. Rule number 1 is you got to laugh at coach's jokes. That's just standard. That's been going on for about 20 years. Rule number 2 is don't spill coach's coffee. That's my 2 rules. And outside of that, you're going to be A-okay.
So how many coffee pots do you really have?
Well, I've got one in the locker room beside the refrigerator. I got one in my office, and I got one at home.
There you go.
Oh my God!
So, and I put in about 12 hours a day, and then I got about 4 more hours to go on my work day, and I love it, and I get a little crazy every now and then, and that's just how we roll.
Well, I think that you and I need to go to get some coffee then, somewhere like Black Rifle Coffee or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I'm game.
You got that right. It's good.
Oh,
I will say this in terms of caffeine. There was pre-games. I usually have a granola bar, and I usually have like a vitamin water because I don't hydrate enough during the week. I should. I preach it, but I don't do it well enough. And one game, one of the other coaches I'd forgot to bring mine, and so he said, "Here, I got one." Well, it was one of the caffeinated versions. Usually, I don't have caffeine right before the game because I don't need it. And that game, I was bouncing all over the place. It was not good. That only happened one time, but so other than right before the game, I like caffeine, but adrenaline's kicking in, so I usually don't have to take any caffeine right before the game. It works pretty good. The football works pretty good for my coffee.
yes.
There you
You and JR get along great with coffee. That guy drinks coffee all the time. I'm like, dude, it's 5 o'clock in the evening. Why are you? You're already hyper.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from the time the radio show started, I saw him running around a little bit. I had to kind of, he was trying to get things figured out. It took me 3 or 4 minutes to figure out what he was doing.
Yeah.
I figured he had some coffee, maybe, he's got a little coffee in him.
Oh, yeah.
More than a little. But
JR, what kind of coffee do you like? What's your
Straight up, man. Well, my girls, my daughters hooked me up with a caramel macchiato.
oh Lord.
And I tell you what, I've never really was like a big fan to try to go get iced coffee. But now it's like I can't afford $6, so I try to figure it out on my own.
Right.
And I realized HEB has got a big box coffee for like $4 and 64 ounces.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, we'll go coffee shopping.
I like that. Let's do it. I like it. I'm straight. I'm pretty much a simple. Give me. You want room for cream and sugar? Nope.
No.
Fill it up to the top. Yeah, I'm good. Straight up black. That's what it is.
Every once in a while, we got to get the foo-foo stuff, but not all the time.
It's a little too sweet for me. I like just that good old black coffee.
I won't put my finger in it then. Go ahead, Joe. I know you got something.
Man, this show is going off the rails, which is awesome. Anyway, okay, get away from the coffee thing. Let's go to the food portion. Let's go to the food portion here. Thursday night, do you have the same dinner dish that every Thursday night before a big game?
Food-wise, I probably have to say I don't. However, for 20 years, I pretty much have the same routine on Thursday evening. It alters a little bit depending on our junior high game on Thursday, whether it's home or away. But I mean, I'm so methodical and everything. There's some of the same things that we've been doing and saying since 2002, that alumni come back and they don't even know each other. The players don't, that's been 15 years, and I introduce them and they start talking and using the same phrases and stuff. So Thursday nights are the same. I go home. I get my coaching clothes laid out. I go put them in the back. I hang them up in the truck for the next day. I get my vitamin water, get my granola bar, put it in the passenger seat. Go in, I plug in the headphones, make sure that they're going to get charged. This is a small operation, so there's probably some toilets I got to clean here and there, do some dishes. That throws me. All I got to do is go home to get humbled. Forget state titles. You go home and get humbled, and you're back to doing this and doing that. But so Thursday night, I get the headphones plugged in. I don't watch really. I enjoy watching college football. So if there's a Thursday night college football game on, I might watch it. I've already got the game plan, what I feel like we're going to do. Rarely do I do any game planning or anything like that. I know I'm going to be up till probably 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning the next day. So I usually try to get in bed pretty early, about 10 o'clock, but I might go out and sit on the porch and look at the stars. And I try not to get too fired up and adrenaline going about the game so that I can go to sleep. But that's about it. It's boring around my house, really. It's not that exciting. It's about as exciting as black coffee.
Hey, that's exciting for me.
Yeah. My
Go ahead,
kids
Trey.
know the routine. They're wonderful. They love it. My daughter, she's going to be a junior. She's like that girl on Remember the Titans, honestly. Blonde-headed girl.
Yes.
Yeah, she is. She
Yes.
she loves sports, and she plays volleyball, basketball, track. I mean, everything. But if one of those conflicts with seeing Friday night football, she gets a little aggravated.
My kind of man. I wish my daughter was like that. My daughter's just all about whatever. I'm like
She's still
whatever.
young.
But
still
she
young.
is, but dude, no, dude, my daughter, no. Like it's all dance. It's that I'm screwed.
Okay, hey, yeah, it keeps us all on our toes. No pun
Yes, it
intended.
does. It does. You want me to keep going, JR?
Yeah, you got the next one.
Okay. How about an article of clothing on a day after a big win? Do you keep one piece of article of clothing after a win, or do you just don't care about tradition or superstitions and stuff like that?
So, whether it's every morning Saturday film, we come in about 8 o'clock for film, sometimes 7. I graduated from Texas A&M. I've got an A&M shirt that I have worn. I'm not kidding you. You ask any alumni member, and they will say, or any current player, and they mess with the freshmen and stuff. They're like, hey, I can predict. They throw out bets on different things. I know what coach is going to be wearing Saturday film, and it's that A&M shirt, khaki shorts, and flip flops. The A&M shirt, the problem is it's starting to get quite a few holes. It's so thin on the shoulders. On the top, there's like probably 10 or 12 holes. And Jake Herman, he graduated in 2012. He's here in Fredericksburg. He's a physical therapist, and I was visiting with him, and he's like, Coach, you still wearing that A&M shirt, aren't you? And I said, yeah. And I said, but it's getting pretty thin, Jake. And so that's it doesn't matter win or lose. Because we got to go to work whether we win or lose. And we're still going to do what we do, win or lose. Does not matter. We're going to be who we are no matter what. Win state title, we're going to be who we are. We don't get to the state title, we're going to be who we are.
Jeff Page got a quick question here for you.
Coach, do you have a game day Bible verse?
Well, I do. It's James. It's in the book of James, and it basically it's the core verse for our entire athletic program, which is I count it all joy whenever I come up against adversity, because that adversity produces perseverance and character and faith, and all of that produces hope. And so we use that throughout our entire athletic program. It's got its roots in our football program. And basically our whole goal there is to teach kids that, everything's not going to be perfect. Some things, life's going to be hard. Sometimes sports is going to be hard. Sometimes it's going to be awesome. You're going to be on the mountaintop. Other times you're going to be down in the valley. It's going to be good, bad, and ugly. And embrace that, whatever you do in life. Because and then we don't just say, hey, run faster and turn left, like in track. You got to teach them how to run faster. And so the reason we teach them, why do you count it all joy? And it is because God's growing you. God is helping you to persevere in that. Even if it's something that you're having a sorry day, or you had a bad game, or something like that, embrace that. Count it all joy, because God's training you up for greater things. He's given you tools and training you to be a Christian warrior. So when you go outside the gate of Heritage, you can do his work, and you can withstand all the things that are coming at you.
Amen.
I'm motivated.
Well, I mean, too, I don't have to go to church anymore. I don't have to go to church Sunday now. I'm good.
Hey, man, that's a one day Wednesday right there. That was a one day Wednesday, a little short version. And any Wednesday about 5 o'clock, you guys need to come over to Heritage, come over to Shipman Field. I don't say that much, but y'all come over and join a one day Wednesday, man, and we'll do all kinds of things then. But the expectation is after several times, then I'm gonna have one of you guys get up and talk.
Oh, I'm game.
All right, come on.
JR's a chatter. He loves that kind of stuff.
It's an open door policy. Anybody's welcome.
Yeah. All right, Trey, what you got?
All right, Coach. With the 2022 season approaching here, actually, it's already started. I want to know what the motto is for your team this year.
So our motto this year is be a champion. Well, that somewhat also builds around the core of our program. Our definition of a champion and maybe ESPN's definition of a champion are two different things.
Right.
I don't know if people can see me and stuff. I ought to get up and go walking through one of our locker rooms. We just got a new upgrade, new wall wraps, wall murals that have our whole building champions for life in every one of our locker rooms. And so our goal is to teach kids what a true champion is. We do have championships, but what is a true champion? It's a servant leader. Is someone who has integrity, someone who's in it for the long haul, someone who looks at how can I help my team, somebody who's willing to make sacrifices. They're reliable, they're trustworthy. There's, the list can go on what is a champion. And then how do we do that? We don't just, it's not just easy. We got to lean on one another. We have to lean on the Lord. We have to have coaches and seniors and leaders who role model, and they show that. And hopefully you'll see in our program, coaches and seniors running and grabbing water bottles more so than the younger guys, because that's what a true champion is. And so be a champion is this year's motto. It could be that every year. But this year it's pretty straightforward. And so we stick with that because that takes time to develop. This particular year, that's our motto.
Coach, I know we're running down, with where we have to get ready to take out here. And it's been an honor to sit here and talk with you and to get to know Coach Tim Shipman. But bringing that to the final question is, what makes Coach Tim Shipman Coach Tim Shipman?
I've had many people ask that kind of question, or what makes Freddie, what makes Heritage, Fredericksburg Heritage football and stuff. I would say the primary thing is my whole goal is to impact young people and make a positive difference in their lives through sports, particularly the game of football. That's the cake. If we can win some state championships or some district titles along the way, all of that is icing. And so don't get me wrong, we love icing, but we focus on the cake.
Yes. That's
awesome. That's the core of Tim Shipman. Now, I will say this too. People say, well, did you have a successful year? Well, for our players, we don't know if we had a successful year or not right now. If maybe 10 years down the road, we find out that they were a good husband or a great father or a great mentor or a great leader, then we start measuring and going, maybe we've been successful. So I have to look in the mirror every day and say, am I being a great father? Am I being a great husband? Am I being a great leader? And that drives me and motivates me as well. Oh,
man, Coach, I'm so ready to hit that one day Wednesday.
Come on.
Yeah, we're going to do that. But the finale of the question belongs to.
Oh, Lord.
We're missing some things here, Coach, and I don't know. I mean, we're all about merch as well. So when are we going to get some Fredericksburg Heritage merch?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to hook you up. That's something that I haven't done a very good job of as well, kind of like getting the schedule out there. Well, now that I'm the AD, I have got my office right now is a wreck. I'm an OCD kind of guy, and normally, it is lined out. But right now, there is merch and gear everywhere. So I'm going to hook y'all up with I'll get y'all some Heritage hats.
Yeah.
I'll definitely hook y'all up with some hats, and then I'll get you some merch and gear.
You got some T-shirts and a flag. But now the ante up, we have an ante up policy here too. So let's see, Comfort and Bandera, they anteed up to a helmet.
Oh, hey, I can do that. I can get you a helmet. I can get you a helmet. I can get you a throwback jersey.
That is awesome.
I can get you a green and I can get you a throwback. I can get you that. I'll get you a helmet, a jersey, and hats.
Dude.
Yeah.
Now that is an ante up.
I'm gonna have
That
to work on the flag part. That's something that we're gonna have to work on. I got to get that. That's gonna be one of my things. I need to get us some flags going here.
We can help you out with that by flying one of them when we get the first one.
I love it. I love it.
There you go. Coach Shipman, again, it's been an honor. Thank you so much for just being on our show. I want to thank Jeff Page too, man. He's been with me as long as I've known you for 20, what did we say? 21 years, man. He was my first ever phone-in call back in the days, man. So, but we are honored to have you here, Coach, and we cannot wait. We'll let you know when we can get together and head up there on a Wednesday.
Hey, that sounds super. Come on up and we'll get y'all hooked up with gear and merch. Trey, Jeff, JR, appreciate everything that you guys do. And it's been an honor to be on y'all's show.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Stay just for a moment there as we get ready to go here. And that was Coach Tim Shipman of the Fredericksburg Heritage Eagles. I tell you what, 7 titles. It ain't all about that kind of a championship for this man. And I tell you what, it's so honored to have him there. Whoa, man. I want to thank Jam Broadcasting once again for being up here on the second floor of the Jam Broadcasting Empire. Without the Jam Broadcasting, well, I mean, they help us out so much. So thank you to Justin McClure, Leslie McClure, Angela, and Mike Krause. We appreciate you guys. But that is going to do it once again here for another wrap of the Hill Country Sports Wrap-Up. And as always, God bless, good night, and we are out of here.